I don't, which is why I don't invest in crypto. MSNBC anchor Stephanie Ruhle ripped crypto investors following a massive market crash. We're talking as much as $800 billion in the past month. But before you tune out because you don't own crypto and don't care, this crash could ruin your finances too, even if you have nothing to do with it. The Wall Street Journal editorial board writes, another danger of the crypto crash is that the crypto turmoil may bleed into the banking system. We're not far from that. Crypto enthusiasts claim that virtual currencies disincentivize financial institutions, disintermediate financial institutions, since you don't need a bank or broker to make transactions. That's true up to a point. But credit to buy crypto has come from somewhere. Who's standing behind it, nobody knows. A number of analysts say that this very well could be the start of 2008 all over again. Brock Pierce, though, still optimistic, chair of the Bitcoin Foundation, founder of Blockchain Capital, with us now. All right, so why isn't this going to all melt down?
Well, I mean, I think the idea that what happens in crypto affecting your regular investor, I'm not sure I agree with that and where the credit is coming from. I think what Stephanie said is spot on. This is a highly volatile market, and there is no government bailout, and it is absolutely buyer beware. And so you shouldn't be investing more than you're prepared to lose if you're participating in this space. And so far, what we've seen is when the traditional or the old financial markets are up, crypto tends to be up even more. But when the traditional financial markets are down, crypto tends to be down even more. High highs, low lows, and this week
Brock,
is.
I feel like to say that there's not a risk to the rest of the financial system is a little questionable. There's all sorts of brokerage houses that allow you to use cryptocurrency as collateral on margin loans for stocks. As crypto crashes, there's a lot of people who are having to liquidate their stock portfolios. You've got the threat of Coinbase going bankrupt. They even said it themselves that none of your crypto is worthless. People use that to back mortgages and other loans, those accounts. There is a connection at some point, is there not?
Well, the markets are definitely correlated, but I mean, in terms of margin, if a particular asset that you have margin on drops by a certain amount, then you get liquidated. And that just is a terrible thing for whomever it is that has the margin account. Yes, that creates a sell-off. And in theory, if enough things happen, you get a big enough sell-off. Yes, the markets are connected to some extent. But if that were to happen in such a way that it affects your average person, we've got bigger problems than the meltdown in crypto.
Well, yeah, we still have some big problems. I'm interested in this. Ro Khanna, congressman from California, talking about what this crash in crypto has shown.
There need to be certain requirements of reserves for these coins, and I think there need to be disclosure requirements.
Can you have regulation in crypto, or are those contradictory terms?
Oh, absolutely. Regulations can be created. And that's going to be the main topic of conversation, I think, on Capitol Hill for some time, especially in light of what just happened. So a project called Terra Luna created a stable coin, or like a digital dollar. This was an experimental one that was all algorithmic. They thought they created a model that would allow a digital dollar to exist without any connection to the traditional or legacy financial system. And that experiment just failed. And as a result of that, clearly, a lot of regulatory sort of conversations are going to occur, and those conversations should be being had. I think it's important for our legislators and regulators, though, to ensure that these things are sensible. We're living through the fourth industrial revolution, and it's important that America stays the capital of innovation, and we don't do something that prevents us from being a participant in change.
Well, if there's one thing that we have learned over the years in America, is that much like wars, you're always planning and getting ready for the war before, not the next one. So the same thing happened after the mortgage crisis. We regulated mortgages after it had already crashed and caused such an issue. Hey, Brock, we got to run. I wish you good luck in your trading, and I'm sure we'll be back to talk either about the high highs or the low lows, all right?
Sounds good.
It was good to see him. Thanks. We'll be right back. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.